Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I'm Joe Haakenson.
And I'm Margaret Wolf. Rounding out our top story tonight, in January there's Super Sunday, but here in March it's Super Tuesday and the presidential primaries. After having a Super Tuesday himself, Vice President George Bush declared he would be the next president of the United States. In the Republican voting, Bush won a lopsided 16 of 17 state caucuses, losing only in the state of Washington to Pat Robertson. On the Democratic side of things, 3 candidates can say they did well. Michael Dukakis, Jesse Jackson, and Albert Gore all scored victories in the southern states. Joe?
Locally, 89 Rincon Intermediate School students went to the hospital this week with skin and eye irritations, and nobody knew the cause. Finally, after ruling out pesticides, herbicides, water, and school-prepared food, a county health official said it was probably caused by an unknown allergenic plant. County plant specialists are still trying to identify the specific source of the irritant, but they admit they may never find out. The students developed the irritations after their Monday morning PE classes and were taken to area hospitals. According to a school district spokesman, all affected students have recovered and are back in classes. Margaret.
Thank you. The Covina City Council has given itself a raise. By a vote of 3-2, council members approved a hike in salary from $240 a month to $400 a month. It is the first council pay raise in 8 years. Mayor Larry Straight, Councilman Henry Morgan, and Bob Lowe voted for the raise, while Councilman Charles Culver and Jerry Edgar voted against it. Straight, who will not be affected by the increase because his term will soon be up, indicated that approving the increase was a matter of compensating city council members for the services they render. Culver, who is seeking re-election next month, said he has never voted for such increases, and those who serve as public officials should be willing to do so for little compensation. The pay increase will not begin until after the April 12th municipal elections. Elsewhere, Chet Shearer, a longtime West Covina councilman and mayor, died Thursday after a long fight with cancer. 54-year-old Shearer was a member of the city council almost 18 years and served as mayor for 4 one-year terms. In 1986, Shearer underwent surgery to remove a malignant growth resulting from prostate cancer. Shearer quickly recovered and resumed his council duties and position as chief of the State Department of Transportation's Local Streets and Roads Division. However, last February, he again underwent surgery and was released from the hospital days later. Shearer never fully recovered and died in his home last Thursday. Shearer was an active member of West Covina Beautiful, the West Covina Republican Club, Youth Pony Baseball, and the Church of Christ in Laverne. Services will be held at 2 p.m. Monday at Bethany Baptist Church in West Covina. Shearer is survived by his wife, Alta, 3 children, 2 grandchildren, and his sister. Joe?
Now look at the local sports scene. 1 week ago tonight, the California State High School Wrestling Championships were held in Stockton. 2 Covina area wrestlers not only participated, they earned medals. Dusty Diaz of South Hills earned a 6th place finish in the 135-pound class, and Covina High's Tony Trujillo placed 5th in the 108-pound class. Earlier this week, I visited Tony. Wrestling is not a glamorous sport by any means, but here at Covina High School, people are starting to take notice, particularly of a kid named Trujillo. Tony Trujillo stands just over 5 feet tall and weighs about 110 pounds, yet he is an intimidating presence to his opponents on the mat. Why? The Covina High School junior has won 138 of 151 matches throughout his high school career. He's a 3-time Valley Vista League champion, but most impressive is the fact that he is a 3-time state qualifier. As a sophomore, Tony won the state title at 101 pounds. This year, in the 108-pound class, Tony was undefeated before placing 5th in the state meet.
Records mean absolutely nothing. At any given time you can lose. Once when you've let up, then anybody can take advantage of you. And then basically you don't wrestle the same people. I mean, you could be from an easy section, and then it means absolutely nothing.
Tony is not the only wrestler in the Trujillo family. Tony's father wrestled at La Puente High School and Mount Sac, while older brother Frankie placed in state 4 years in a row. Covina coach Mark Haygood has gotten to know the Trujillo family quite well.
Neither one of them were real flashy wrestlers in that they didn't gamble, they didn't want to trade points, they didn't try to maybe go for a fall, but at the same time risk losing a position or maybe lose some points. They are both very tenacious wrestlers. Both of them are very, very good athletes. And number one, the athletic ability. You can drill and drill and drill, but if you don't have the God-gifted natural ability, you're not going to be successful. And both Tony and Frankie were very good baseball players, and both of them were very good gymnasts. But then you take to the mat the desire to win and the intelligence. Both Frankie and Tony are very intelligent. You combine those attributes and you're going to be successful.
Here in the city of Covina, the Trujillo name is very familiar amongst the wrestling circles. One thing to remember, however, is that Tony is only a junior, and he'll be back next year to show them what he's got. For QC, I'm Joe Haakenson reporting.
And that was a very interesting story. He does look a little intimidating.
Yeah, even though he's a small guy, they wrestle the same. When you wrestle the people the same weight as you. And a guy like him, he's really been wrestling. I remember going back and seeing him in clubs when he was 7 or 8 years old. So he really is experienced at the sport of wrestling. So he's still a junior. He's got another year to go. So he should really turn out pretty good.
And he sounds like he's a really dedicated person to the sport of wrestling.
Yeah, that's what it takes to succeed in a sport like that, is really dedication and time spending on the mat and practicing.
Okay, well, I guess that'll do it for our QC News. I'm Margaret Wolf.
And I'm Joe Haakenson. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of the show.